Chris, last week we talked about some protective device equipment that we use for circuit breakers and things, but I noticed we have quite a few other lockout tagout items here. Can you briefly explain some of the other items, what they would be used for?
Absolutely. We talked about electrical energy being one of the things we want to protect against. Hydraulic, pneumatic energy, those are other stored potential energies that we need to make sure that we properly block out and lock out. So one of them here is a real common quarter turn valve that you see in a lot of types of pieces of equipment. So here we have basically just a simple lockout device. Takes this, goes right over the top of that. Second piece slides right over the top of that. And it can be locked in place with a padlock, a gang lock, so that we can't turn that valve. And you can turn that obviously in the off or the on position depending on how you want that orientated. Another one we have, real simple turn valve. Again, something where we want to lock out pressure, water, hydraulic. Basically this is just a simple clamshell, goes right over the top of it, either if you want to lock it in the on position or the off position, and apply your padlock on that. Another simple one too that we didn't discuss last time with the electrical is anytime you have a piece of equipment that's powered by a simple power cord. It could be a 110, 120, 240, depending on whatever size you have. You can get another simple clamshell, goes right over the top of it, seals that inside of there, and we can lock this off. And you might be asking, well, why do I need to lock out a plug in here instead of just plugging it out of the wall? Well, it depends on where that plug is. So in the Lockout Tagout standard, they have what's called exclusive control. So if you can unplug something and visually look at it and make sure that nobody can walk up and plug that object back in, it's acceptable to have that where you just unplug it without locking it out. But if it's, say, in another room, now where we can't keep visual control over it, that's where we want to use a lockout device on that.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Very educational on some of these things. And you know what's amazing is how simple of a procedure it is, and how easy it is to just lock out, tag out some of these items for safety reasons.
Absolutely, and that's something we'll talk about in one of the next sessions here of how simple it is. Very cost effective. These are all very small dollar expenses, a couple of dollars, a couple of pennies for some of these devices. So we can talk about that next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Bill.